That was still set from, you know, the project I worked on earlier. Hello, hello. Welcome on in. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon time zones, wherever you guys are at. And I am your resident slime in a jar. Slimy. Hello. I almost said jar and a slime. Yeah. Huh. But yeah. Oop, accidentally pressed page up for stream start. So let me unmute that. But yeah, it's Katawa, you know?
Yeah.
The hectic visual novel that we do occasionally on Wednesdays. And, you know, the, the norm. Anyways, let's get started, shall we? Let me also wait for this to go up. Bing, bang, boom. But yeah, we're gonna be here for a while for Coral. So it is
Okay.
from what
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
know, it was like about 5 minutes. What they said on the thing.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, come on in, Nightmare Jack. Also, I need to reposition Ash a bit. There we go. But yeah, let's continue where we left off, which was that lunch evolution theory. And also,
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
oh,
I'm here.
hey, well, come on in, Coral.
Yeah.
Let me also pull up my sticky note. Where's my sticky note? Sticky notes. There they
Aren't all your notes sticky?
are. But I mean,
Your slime.
they're sticky notes. I mean, I would expect them to be sticky. Also, is this the right one? Yes, it is. I think.
Okay.
It is. Okay, cool. It's the right
Happy, I think a week late at this point, birthday, by the way. Or I can be ignored. That's cool too. I deserve that.
I don't think Ash heard you. That's why. Uh,
Huh?
Corals.
Happy a week late birthday.
A week late birthday. Yeah. That's because I couldn't celebrate my birthday last week, so I'm celebrating it this week. Oh yeah, I still have a party hat on.
Yeah, that's why I said anything. My goodness. I'm looking for my pop filter. It fell on the floor.
Why can't I hear you anymore?
I'm looking for my pop filter. It fell on the floor. My microphone is
Oh,
on my
okay.
desk.
Oh, okay, okay.
Not
I just want to make
subjecting
sure it
anyone
wasn't something
to.
I did.
Did you steal my pop filter?
No, maybe.
It would be just like a demon to come into my home and steal something very situationally useful. Now, is it demon or oni? And I don't actually
Oni.
know the difference, aside from like a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's mostly just a cultural thing. It's the same.
I found it. Found the pop filter.
Anyways, shall I get into it?
I mean, not that I need a pop filter because I am still a beep boop, apparently. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is yes.
Okay. I feel very tired this morning. Probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I started doing the work as instructed from the board. It Already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now, though. Shizune and Misha might jump on me trying to get an answer about whether or not I've decided to join the student council, even if it's just one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try, and I don't have an answer for them if they do. So this situation is convenient for me. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateness. He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break into groups again. I turn my head and see Shizune and Misha are looking at me. Shizune gives me a smile that is equal parts cute and menacing. This is the smile that says, "We have you now. There's no escape."
Give me. Sorry.
Take your time.
I'm doing my best here. Hichan! It looks like we're together again. Yeah.
Misha leans sideways while Shizune pushes her desk closer to mine. There really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. But I mean, you could do that. You're a ghost, remember? Everyone's dead. You could just do that.
The windows are barred.
Shit.
The bars are ghosts too.
I didn't know this was Danganronpa.
No, it's more discreet.
Oh.
Jumping out the window isn't the best option, sadly. But you're a ghost, bro. Just do it.
What's wrong, Hichan? Oh, Hichan, have you been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said that you would think about joining the student council, didn't you? Didn't you? It's okay, Hichan. We were talking about it after you left, and it would be rude to expect you to already have an answer for us this early, right? Of course, you do have an answer, and it's that you're going to join us, right?
Danganronpa seems fun. I don't know about that one, Nightmare Jack. I don't know about that one.
It's bad against hands, right?
I'm so happy you two are able to have a laugh at my expense. And for some reason, like, the threatening and menacing aura, I don't know where that came from, but, you know. And even more pleased to know that you both know how crazy the two of you, can be. Now that's over, Shizune snaps back into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at the stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there are only two problems. I almost want to say something about how her rush to get started seems a bit much, considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is, and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, I let my eyes wander around the room and catch Hanako trying her hand at solving the problem. It looks like she's working alone. Can't remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there.
Hichan? Who?
Her, Hanako, over there. Does she always work alone?
She's not real.
All
I
part
think
of
so,
parenting.
He-chan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone?
Also, I love how Ash's reactive image is an actual lid going onto the jar.
Oh, I forgot to put it on both the images. Oh well.
It works
I'll try to
better.
fix it.
I was just thinking that maybe she could work with us or something, you know?
Don't acknowledge her. If you make eye contact, she steals your soul. No, I don't think that would be a good idea, He-chan.
Why not?
He-chan wouldn't get along with her. Of the eye contact thing, she stole She-chan's voice.
This is a bit weird, for a shy person to do that, but why? Misha shuffles around the question, letting out a laugh that sounds very strange. It's nervous, but still has that lifting up and down quality present in everything she says. Is Hanako the girl in the living room, or is that a different girl? If you know what I'm talking about. Huh? I'm sorry. That actually just really hit me different, and I don't know how to respond.
Just because He-chan seriously fucking talking about her.
By now, Shizune has noticed our conversation, and it makes me realize again how Misha has been signing everything she has been saying this whole time.
Niggas more an asshole like you. What, She-chan? The friend of my enemy is my enemy? That sounds so harsh. I'm not gonna say that. Wait. Shit.
You said it anyway.
I know, Chan, it's fine if you overhear.
Oh yeah, that was other girl while one was sleeping. Yay. I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand a thing Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is that also why she's signing all the time? So there is never a conversation Shizune will be left out of?
Yeah, did it really take you so fucking long to figure it out? Anyway, we should start on the problems now, He-chan.
We finished with time to spare. I decided to ask if there are any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly, the food so far has been subpar. This sends Shizune and Misha arguing amongst themselves about their favorite restaurants. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go all the way there. And what about the bill? Are they arguing just for the fun of it? Maybe they seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of actual lunch break. I look over my shoulders towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break, socializing, gossiping, rearranging desks. The one with actual lunch boxes mixed in and chatting like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. But when I watch Hanako, it feels that I'm the only one who could see her, almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight.
Because she is.
Fair enough, fair enough. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class on her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I started watching her. Guess she's waiting for someone. What do I do? I mean,
What about her?
go talk to her. I still feel bad for making her run away yesterday, so I better say something. Hey there, Hanako.
So,
Well, at least she remembers my name. Hey, I just wanted to apologize for yesterday. I didn't mean to startle you or anything. I'm just new here, and thought I should get to know my classmates. As Hanako looks up at me, I notice her scarring once more. It's a little bewildering that you can barely notice it from across the room, but it's so noticeable from up close. Is Hanako dead or SMT? Don't get it.
oh, something.
I mean, the running joke is that everyone in the school's dead.
That's okay. It was my fault.
Nah, that wasn't anyone's fault. It just kind of happened. So, are you waiting for someone? Saw you looking at the door before.
Yes, Lily.
Oh, you mean Lily the blind girl? Hanako only nods in response. And I can't help but wonder if defining people through their disabilities is a fructus of the worst kind or just normal here. Guess that explains why Lily took off after her yesterday. She seems like a nice girl. Are you two friends?
Yes.
As if hoping for Lily to appear, she checks over her shoulder again. I think I'm making her nervous again. I hope I'm not disturbing you right now.
No, that's not it. It's just easier if Lily doesn't come here.
Oh, because it's hard to get around the classroom?
Not really.
Hanako's gaze drifts past my shoulder and towards Shizune. Shizune? Hanako nods again. What about her? Don't they get along? Hanako shakes her head. Clearly this isn't something she wants to talk about. It does make a strange sort of sense. Shizune and Lily not getting along so well? Communication between the two would be all but impossible, but it's hard enough talking to Shizune through Misha, even when you can see whose hands are talking. Hanako is so focused on Shizune that I am the first to notice Lily at the door. Oh, she's here now. Hanako spins around to confirm this. Upon seeing Lily, she moves quickly to the door.
Lily. Ah, Hanako. Good morning. Is the president here? Yes.
Hanako glances over her shoulder at Shizune again, as if to confirm she can't hear them, even though that's impossible.
I suppose we'd best be off then.
Lily's sigh and tone of what seems like frustration makes me raise an eyebrow. I guess there's some kind of enmity between the two. It's intriguing, but that's not really something I'd ask about. I'm sure if they wanted me to know, then they would tell me. It's only my third day here. I should be trying to make friends, not finding out why people are enemies. Still, it's a little funny to find out that this school has little feuds, just like my old high school. Even if people are more tolerant of others and alive, they're still going to get on each other's nerves. Hey Lily, how are things? I'm sorry I made you run off yesterday.
Oh my, is that Hisao? I didn't realize you were here.
Seems that Lily is a little embarrassed about being so frank in front of me.
Sorry, Lily. I thought you realized. No, it's all right, Hanako. Hisao, please don't worry about yesterday. It was just a misunderstanding.
If you say so, I'm still working this place out.
Well then, I think you'll find most people here are a lot more forgiving than elsewhere. If you're feeling a little confused, please don't be afraid to ask questions.
Sure, I'll remember that. Why don't they test that by jumping out the window? I mean,
The
apparently,
windows are barred!
yeah, the windows are barred. They're ghost barbed. The bar,
The
bar.
bars are made of ghosts.
It's impossible for a ghost to go outside the window at that point. I was in Ash's stream, but lurking because I needed to do stuff. Fair enough.
Lily.
Lily gives a small nod of acknowledgement.
I'm sorry, Hisao, but we must be off.
Naka really doesn't look all that comfortable here right now. And Lily still seems a little embarrassed. I wonder if my apology really made any impact. Mind if I accompany you two? I know I'm kind of pushing it, but Lily's quietly, still smiling.
I'm sure that we could accommodate you, can't we, Hanako?
She looks at Lily, then at me, and then she freezes, wide-eyed.
Sure. Well then, shall we go?
I'm sure Lily wouldn't do this so easily if she saw how scared Hanako looked, but it can't be helped now. Declining after the deal is sealed would only cause confusion and problems. So we leave, and so we leave, all three of us together, or all three together. Blah, blah, blah. Lily walks beside the wall, letting her cane gently tap against it every now and then. Hanako comes along right beside her, so close that she is practically half hugging her as they go. Although it must make her walking that much harder, Lily takes it in stride. As we turn around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a steam train. Hanako shrieks a little, and my vision briefly goes black. Ouch. Opening my eyes, see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. They belong to the... Go for it. What were you gonna say?
I said, I guess I'll take this one.
Yeah.
They belong to the perpetrator, a small girl who bumped into me and has now fallen down onto the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and a very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during a lunch break. more striking than that, though, is that she doesn't have it doesn't have legs. I don't know why I struggled with legs. Or she does, but they are not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs and in shins and feet that are made of some black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl winces a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up.
Hey, right, I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry.
She looks really apologetic, in the hurt puppy way of looking apologetic. I quickly forget about being angry or anything, since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Ouch. I say that, but there are stinging pains growing in my chest, and I know that this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself. Don't forget your medication, and most of all, don't get hit in the chest. I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. It seems normal.
Hey, should I get a nurse?
The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded, so I realize that I probably looked worse off than I really was. Doubled over myself and looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. Ugh, no need. I'm fine. Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time, and take a deep breath. He just knocked the wind out of me. Big time. It's nothing more than that.
You sure you're okay? You're pretty hard.
It's okay. I said I was fine, and nothing's broken. No harm done. I mean, nothing's broken because you're dead.
Oh, that's good.
Giselle, what happened?
She's not quite up to speed, for obvious reasons, but she sounds very worried. More than what the situation deserves, really. Someone just bumped into me. Nothing serious. Just winded.
Sorry. My fault. I was going to get some stuff, and I was in kind of a hurry.
That someone here is Emmy, isn't it?
The little girl coughs quietly and shuffles her plastic or metallic feet, looking down at them before saying anything.
Hanako?
I guess the girls know each other.
8 people at this fucking school, bro.
Do please try to be more careful. You might be sturdy enough to endure these sorts of accidents, but there are people who aren't.
The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously, like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I find myself smiling.
I know. I was just. I gotta go. teacher will have my head. I promised to help with the printouts, but I went running instead. Sorry, but I've gotta change and everything.
Before any of us can say anything, a thing, Emmy has already bolted away, leaving the hallway eerily quiet. Does that kind of thing happen often around here?
There are more rules in Yamaku than usual for running in corridors. But that rarely stops Emmy, it seems.
She shakes her head weakly and offers a slight, composed smile.
I don't think there's anything we can do to stop her, I'm afraid. Shall we be off then?
Lily heads off along the hallway, and Hanako hurries after her. The route to the room the two use for tea is fairly simple and retraced, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go about the business of making lunch. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with the thermos and tea bags as Hanako is setting out both their lunchboxes. So, is this what you meant by coming here almost every day?
Yes, Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we ended up using this room regularly.
After seeing Hanako's reaction to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why that is a boon. That and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lily poured the tea for us and sits down. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil to Misha and Shizune. Even without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met.
So, how are you faring in Yamaku, Hasao? You seemed a bit flustered before.
Oop, I skipped it too
No, you're good. I read it.
fast. Okay. Yep, Lily is the girl I was talking about. Yeah. Apart from getting lost every now and again, and being crash tackled outside my classroom, fine, I guess.
You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay?
For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled. Judging by the Judging from the two girls' expressions, I don't think they're buying it. But in what I assume is their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has a thing that they don't feel comfortable speaking about. And I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in the school? Both seem to know your way around pretty well.
Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well, and moved to the dormitories when she did, if memory serves me right. That's right, since high school.
So you've known each other since then.
Since I moved, yes, Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right.
Yeah, of course. Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them. Though, I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in it as well. I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to be deliberately avoid looking at her scars. With the immin- ah, imminent conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. It isn't long before the bells are signaling the end of the break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunch as efficiently as they set them out.
I guess I'd better be off. Are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako?
Hanako looks up at me, and for a second, I can see that she is considering skipping class, maybe just to avoid walking to the classroom with me.
Yes.
I don't know what to think of it. Hanako really is delicate to the point of breaking if looked at in the wrong way. Makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feelings aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it. Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane, Hanako and I filing out before her. We walk quickly down the empty halls to our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns towards me.
Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today.
My pleasure, Lily. And with that, we part ways, Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and me to make off to our own. She's still looking like she wants to run away. So, do you really want to go back to class now?
Yes.
Okay then. I feel like I should say something more to her, but it is hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. And Lily was right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. The teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. We make our way to our seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if it is some form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of this school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbook from my bag and start catching up. Class goes on quietly. The teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there is still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital, I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here, filling the considerably short hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Katawa is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and frowns his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I'd do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment, I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No. I'm considering joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe and meet a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. But I don't know how to continue from there. Martel looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. Talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about. The disabilities? It's like it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone, even if they are blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial that there's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He says the same thing as Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha or Hanako? It's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open.
Teacher!
Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their grave. She starts
To be.
She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the ribbon. Natal, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha, in general, slumps in his chair. Nikaido. Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but has no idea of what. We have talked about volume control before.
Yeah.
But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So, what is it?
We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress.
She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, we'll get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that?
Wood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with it. Now there's like none left there because we took all the plywood and didn't tell anybody. So, do you know where there's some more plywood?
I don't understand. How would I know?
You're a teacher. Shi-chan. I mean, the president thought that a teacher would know if there was plywood. Was she wrong? Do you not know where plywood is? Do we need to bring out the knives?
What is with you girls and pilots? Watao
Just
looks...
this one.
Watao looks like he is in great pain, drowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible. Like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there is any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any.
What should I do?
Perhaps try to find Mr. Naomi. Yeah, Nomi?
Mia?
Nomiya? I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You have to pry them from his cold, dead hand. But that's a different matter.
I have to do that with most things in this school. That part's fine. I don't have time. We're so busy.
She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as possible it's possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumbles the note she's holding against her hair.
I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we're falling behind schedule.
Katawa looks at her gravely, and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly, with a hard expression, as if she's trying to say, go make some friends. Eh? I guess I could give you a hand.
You can? Thanks, He-chan. You're really nice.
She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping, "Ah!" and looking very puzzled.
Come to think of it, what's He-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. Are you having fun? Are you having fun with this man?
What context of fun are we talking about? We just had a little chat.
Oh no, it's not attention. Is it? Are you in trouble, He-chan? We talked about this, only I get to lock people in places.
No, I'm not.
Is He-chan in trouble, teacher?
No, he's not. I mean, he just fucking said it. Like, what are you, dense? Mattel sighs deeply as I feel that I have to help Misha get her off of the teacher's back. So, what do you need?
Here's the list. I could try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room.
She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit.
The contract is sealed.
You're a part of the student council now. You can't go back. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether or not I'm joining the council or not.
Still, thanks, He-chan. Try to be quick. We are in a stall building streak now, and we must hurry. Hurry, 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 hurry. Hurry, 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 hurry.
She bounces out of the classroom. For some reason, like, I think her programming broke. Keeps saying hurry for some reason. Leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Yeah, you little bitch. Fucking asking me for club activities and shit. What do you think I am? Looking at
the clearly autistic girl.
No.
We're gonna act like he's way worse than it actually is.
Fucking ain't it. Looking at the list with the number of items, ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's. I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. I have to do fucking chores. What the fuck is this bullshit? Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classroom closest to ours are designated belonging to the class 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same.
Appease the ghost.
Appease the ghost?
Confuse them.
Oh, confuse the ghost. Fair enough. Further down the corridor, still with identical rooms, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a class as much as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settled on them. There are some easels in the corner, so at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desk. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody home? Something catches my eye, and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's out uniform, with a fork between her toes and a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me aback even more. How did I
She
miss
just
her
wants some
before?
privacy because she has to eat weird.
How did I miss her before? Sitting in the corner very still, but I still somehow took her as part of the furnishing or statue at first glance. Not being too observant today as a whole. Girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. Staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. Staring at her, my mouth wide open, Suddenly remembering.
To accept the fork.
Suddenly remembering. I didn't finish my lunch. Nor did I finish the sentence. I'm trying to think if I should accept the fork. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically.
I'll do it.
You want to do this one?
You want to do this one?
I can. Yeah.
I mean, I can. I keep accidentally stealing the very verbose characters.
That's fine, because I'm already doing also the librarian as well.
Yeah, so it'll be split even with 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. The deaf one doesn't count.
I mean, no, it's because you got
No, you said it. You said it.
no, because you got Misha, Emmy, and now Rin.
I need a second to find a voice. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I'm pretty sure your default voice would be fine.
Yeah, sure it would, but this is good practice.
You know what? Fair enough.
Hi. Hello?
The girl stuffs the fork full in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to pick up some supplies from here. For some festival stall, I think. I didn't think there would be someone here.
Can't have it too.
Oh my god, I love it. Really setting into the character right now. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here, then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false.
Pretty observant, I guess it does. But, who are you?
This girl's pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai. Hisao Nakai. I just transferred in on Monday. You know, the protagonist who was just standing in front of the school?
I saw you through a window. I'm Rin. Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That is very nice. Nice.
Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. I mean, are you gonna shake her feet? Like, bro. It kind of...
Greetings, you dickbag. You've attempted none of them.
It kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. While I'm trying to figure what's appropriate and whether this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at our food.
Deadpan, okay. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back.
Go right ahead. But lunch? School's already over for the day.
It takes me longer to eat. What word would you use then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch, but before dinner, right? Supper. It bothers me very much, too, but I don't really know what I should say, because I don't speak Japanese.
When did that come into the picture? I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with.
Hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious.
With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness, she points it straight at me.
So, Nakai, what brings you to this place?
Like I said, I was told to look for these things.
The school from outside is fun. Something fucked up with your brain?
Oh no, I forgot about this. I come to a full stop, opening my mouth, but not getting a word out.
Okay.
I don't think it's my brain.
I'm good at guessing. Better than most people.
Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question, or skirts around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition. Or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is a part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could.
Dumb shit.
I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be.
Staring, unblinkingly.
With an overtly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. The beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side.
Don't think it's anything in your head now. And something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. There's a real cannibalism problem here. Problem must be in your pants.
Fucking hate it. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I might have reeled back, even physically, as Rin's eyes widen in revelation and astonishment.
So, you're right. There's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there?
Still partly in shock, but recognize the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing that I can think of. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem. Arrhythmia.
I'll give you a arrhythmia, if you know what I mean.
I said it. More like blurted it out, but I said it. Also, what does she mean by that? The girl in front of me presses her lips together and glowers at me. What? Looking very disappointed.
Trouble in the sort of in way more scandalous.
What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down.
I forgive you. Just I collect people, and a person with that kind of problem been really great.
Collect people?
People with different problems.
Huh. So you're just, like, go around asking people what's wrong with them?
Yes, much.
I see.
How did you not get that from me just asking me that?
With a little left to say, and for some reason just like, getting told off for some reason by Rin. Rin resumes her lunch, and the conversation dies away. But I keep thinking about what was said. It's the first time I've told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already or heard about it from someone else, or didn't need to know about it like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of introduction? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disabilities would define us? What a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tesuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Her hair is a burn, almost orange, and cropped shorts. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and the lack of missing arms makes her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty, except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it within them, like deep wells. Blech. She moves her feet almost as definitely as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this sight could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it is too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins and the shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable. So I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So, do you always eat lunch alone? And this late? Or do you get the occasional visitor?
Totally didn't have the window out. Visitors. Maybe you are my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof, if she's not horsing around.
Horsing?
She likes sport.
Oh. And that's all I can think of to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bite of her meal to her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things now.
Very nice for you. Don't feel obligated to stay. I was about to take a nap. You need to do whatever you're gonna do with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping. I picked the wrong one to make a closet pervert.
Oh, God. I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. It's kind of weird. Even if I did, I think I have to be going.
Coward.
I'll catch you around, Kazuka.
You can call me Ren. I feel that our relationship is, at this point, good enough to warrant, this much. I did talk about your junk.
I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine. Then I'm Hisao.
Then you are. Hisao.
Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feel when you get someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times. I can't figure out why a pause like this just popped between us out of nowhere.
Hisao.
There's something like a tiny smile there in her face. Maybe. I quietly back out of the room as I shut the door in front of my face. I whispered to myself, what an intriguing person. From inside, I heard a muffled sing-song voice.
I heard that.
I jumped at the sudden appearance of Bisha, who I had not heard approaching despite the completely empty hallway.
I heard her approaching too.
No comment from the from the audience. Somehow, she had gotten to jump distant of me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about the global feminist conspiracy. But I pushed that thought aside.
Wait, did I miss something? Did I
Missed
I
Kenji.
I missed
It's
something
Kenji.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You missed the feminist conspiracy because you had to take off that at that time.
I needed to go. My people needed me.
It's all good. It's all fine. He'll make another appearance. I promise you. That's not the only time we hear about the feminist conspiracy. Shizune, standing slightly behind Misha, looks aloof as she couldn't have heard the remarks that drew Misha's attention. But Misha is visibly excited.
No, wait. More importantly, who's in there? There's no club meetings today.
She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway.
It's my X-ray vision.
You get it when you're a ghost for this long.
You get it when you're autistic.
No. What are you doing here?
You took so long that we had to come check what's wrong. That's no good, He-chan. Maybe I keep you on a short leash.
She wags her finger at me scoldingly.
Scold. I found plywood, but everything else is still missing because you're late.
Oh, sorry. I got the things here. Was just going to bring them.
I think you were up to some mischief, He-chan. Who's in there with you? I wonder. I wonder too.
Misha signed something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her own ear a couple of times. Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left. I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With Shizune's diligence and attitude, the insolent and of a daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear.
And the fact that you know I was sleeping.
And indeed, she stares at Rin, frozen in place apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders, from suppressed rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sighing furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it. She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness.
I should have done it. Hello.
Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door. It takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face.
Said hello. What more do you fucking want from me?
I mean, I couldn't hear you because I'm pretty sure you're cutting out when you're saying it.
My sensitivity's probably fucked.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Oh.
Jesus.
I installed a new monitor and my sound's all weird because of it.
Oh good, it's so good.
Miss Tezuka, what do you think you were doing? Absolutely not permitted to use school property for such disgraceful activity. It sure is suddenly very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular.
It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune/Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulders, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs.
Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore. Anyway, how's your project going? Will it be done for the festival?
Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure Shizune's cold stare is putting on her.
Keep wondering that about myself, too. considering you gave me an assignment, and I don't really have it handled. And I'll think about it harder.
As Misha sighs her reply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown.
And I'm adding my own. I've decided to add my own narration for body language a little bit. Misha sort of perks up. Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it.
Rin nods assertively.
I'll think more seriously.
Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't, not even after translation. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo.
True though, I finished my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't. I mean, have you seen that Misha girl? I'm pretty sure she killed the last person with arrhythmia at the school.
Oh no.
The end of the world as we know it. Like, weekends, but more dire. Much, much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to an unforeseen time in the future. Maybe in your bed.
What? I'm about to ask what the project she has and why she mentioned the bed. What are these apocalyptic
She spin kicks the door so it closes in your face.
But she walks back into the art room, or the art classroom.
Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand? This paint can doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it.
She kicks slightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table she was sitting and sleeping. It let out a dull clink.
Clank.
Being the gentleman I am, I naturally pick it up. Heavy. Wow. Did you know this paint can was heavy? I didn't know. Yeah, sure. What do you need to take it to? Or ticket.
Away.
And with that, she takes off to the hallway, me and the paint can following since there's little choice for either of us. I'm sorry, paint can. I guess you're coming with us. The hallway is quiet and empty now, with Shizune and Misha gone. So we too leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring.
Just use your sleeve.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Use the sleeve trick.
Rin strolls on beside me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching. Or maybe I'm walking weird because of the extra weight.
Alright, it's your arrhythmia.
It's my oh no. It seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast. I can't figure out which.
It doesn't occur to me that she might be fucking with me.
2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin. Ah, Nakai, Mr. Nakai. What a happy coincidence. And Tezuka too? Of course. The, with her weird suggestions and everything. He nods
I take offense to that, but it's accurate.
counterously to Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who had some business with. There's something I forgot to mention on Monday. I nod and wait.
Don't
passively.
carry cans of paint.
You will die. Oh wait, we're already dead. You'll double die. Because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either. It's about your medication. Since you haven't been that long on your current medication, there might be some unexpected side effects, which might require adjusting dosages, or even changing to another kind of medication.
You know, how medicine works.
You know, like that one that was on that whole paper filled with words. What was it called again? Ah, that's it. Depression.
And also something about your dick. That was weird that we had notes on that.
Who tampered with my files? Which one of you was it?
It's giving me Happy Mask Salesman vibes.
So we would do a few tests regularly. And for some reason involving your dick too. I still wonder who wrote that. But what I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off. If you get what I mean. Just make sure it's not your dick, man. But it's not gonna be good for the doctors back at the hospital you were at, you know?
Alright, lost my license. I practice dark magic now.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love casting spell. Nausea. Headaches. Anything. And come see me if something happens. Alright. So, how are you? Everything fine? Your dick's not falling off like a mannequin? I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently, this takes longer than my bicep can handle. I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too. Teachers and students here. My parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital. Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school. Except this school. This is a small school, and both the students' space and the faculty seem to be very tightly knit. At least, that's the feeling I'm getting. And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyways. That's great! Also, one other thing.
Your dick's gonna...
From what I can see here, your penis is not intact. That is not good. What did I tell you about being a mannequin when you came in? My sources tell me that you've been at neither the school's track nor even the pool. So I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked. Of course I haven't, but his way of integrating gives me the feeling that I should have been running my ass off on the track since the very first day. You have people spying on me? Well, of course you stupid bitch. Not as such. You know, not the little camera that I attached to your back, but you know, I just happen to know a few people. But that's not the issue here, nor is the camera on your back. So don't try to slip out of it.
Never shuts up.
Well, I was actually just doing some improvised weightlifting, just as an exercise. Have to spy to make sure you be thick? What? Hello, Minnie. Welcome on in. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times, like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing me down my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, and he pulls out a knife from his pocket. Why has he got that there? Then comes back.
Else am I gonna store a knife, you dipshit?
Tetsuka, would you give me a few hours? I may need your assistance. You know, hiding a body. The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he didn't need in the first place, and drags me outside. So what you're telling me is, you want to fucking die? I mean, I get it, because you're not listening to what I'm telling you. When I told you to exercise, well, I wasn't joking. Do you want to get cut, bitch? I understand you are still on your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this. The reason I'm coming down this hard on you is that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it'll be. Same with everything, like dieting and your death. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on? Maybe.
Absolutely not.
Maybe. No, I mean, it gives me a nasty sort of look when I say that, making me try to take back the word. I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to the school. I'll promise to try, though. You're not being very convincing, and, you know, this knife right here, it's gonna go somewhere in your sternum.
It has your name written all over it.
I bought it online. They said it can cut through carbonized steel.
And ghosts, apparently.
I'm the only person alive here. Also, I'm not actually the nurse.
I'm the one who killed everyone.
Oh my god.
I see it.
I mean, look at that face.
I mean, he's giving me real Gin vibes from fucking Bleach.
I know, right? I was thinking that last time, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to out myself as much of a weeb as I am.
I was gonna say it's fine. We're all weebs here.
I know, but I wanted to seem like the cool one. The only chance I had.
I mean, to be fair, you did tell me in DM saying, "Tell him I'm doing something cool, like fighting off a bear."
Yeah, I wanted to be cool.
You are cool. So, tip number 1. Medical professionals are not amused if you take their advice lightly, like this knife. What's up with him? But still, where did he get the knife from? As if a day or two.
That seems like the least like, where did he get the knife? He's an adult. He went to the fucking local 7-Eleven.
He bought,
which I know is popular in Japan.
He bought an off-brand knife.
Weirder that he brought it to this school.
As if a day or two would make that much of a difference. I didn't do anything at the hospital either. And they probably had knives too? I don't know. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Please put the knife away. No. He studies me for a moment, then shrugs, smiling again. Okay, that's more like it. I can put this knife away now. If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet with my spy, who probably has no qualms offering consolation to you if you want to jog a bit.
Consultation.
Consultation? Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
English language is hard.
You know, I'm not trying to harp on you.
But you are.
I'm genuinely trying to be helpful. Please tell me I'm not being helpful.
I was gonna say you are being helpful. Consultation. See you around. And my knife will too.
He's going in a puff of smoke.
He leaves with a wave of his hand and a cig in his mouth, with no answer. And I walk to Rin, who has been waiting, idly leaning against the wall and staring at the pale lighting fixture in the ceiling.
Yeah, that guy's a creep, huh?
I heard that! Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off of them.
Are you getting medications for your heart thing? I mean, that's the smart thing to do.
Were you listening?
Kind of hard not to. You had the conversation right in front of me.
Even without my consent, like, God.
Like, you really... I don't understand how you thought that was private.
I even saw a knife come out. I thought it would be cool to see your blood splattered all over the school ground.
Would have saved me a lot of paint.
It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out on her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. And it's not her business. The nurse seems to be happily ignorant about confidently, too, talking about that kind of thing in public, and for some reason pulling out knives whenever he wants to. It's odd. But it's not Rin's
I
fault,
just
is
have
it?
a thing about knives. I think they're neat.
I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty. But Rin is just staring past my shoulders. Quizzically, her head tilts like a bird. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there is some inexplicable block that prevents me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, they're from my heart.
You better? Like medicine's supposed to? Or did he give you the quote-unquote happy pills?
No, that's Kenji. No,
Oh, that's just weed.
not really. They just make me a little less worse. Ren keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further nor displays any kind of emotion I could disconcern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all of this. At the hospital, it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building, and Rin leads us onward towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. The dorm is built on a
Are you
slightly...
standing for like an hour?
dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground, with a wall and a few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come and go, or go. Probably the one inconvenient design in the school. The entire wall, made of the same kind of brick as the building itself, has been covered with some sort of painting. Most of it is still mere sketches. Quick line draws with black and white against the gray plastering that covers against almost the entire length of the wall, but some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't quite say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seems to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground, besides the wall.
See, left side's hardly off the ground yet. Because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up and went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. God, mood, girl. I have to work on it, but the guys from art class are helping with the negative spaces and base surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people, with fucking hands. The reach is better and it's faster. Because they have hands. I cannot impress upon you the importance of hands.
She goes on a tangent, weaving a little with her arms, or whatever is there actually is, to demonstrate, even though I got the point already. The white cotton of her sleeves flaps around. It makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it does make me feel out of place, like almost every tangible reminder of student faces. Special priorities has in the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she lost me a while ago already, and just keeps blabbering.
That's why I'm trying to figure out if there is something I need to figure out, and then figure out before it's too late. All hope is lost. I'm expelled. They come from my family.
Why would the hope be lost?
Because the love is gone. Because paint has to be painted, and it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. You dipshit. It takes time.
She finally stops, apparently thinking she made some kind of statement that makes sense. I think it's best to start from the top. So, this project. This is your project? You did this?
Yeah.
All of it?
Yeah.
Nice, but I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into a minefield of political incorrectness.
You do it without hands. It's okay. You can say it. I probably won't get mad.
I blushed really hard. I don't really know what would be right thing to say, if anything. If any. It feels that I'm way more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward.
Don't you want to ask?
How do you paint without hands?
See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet.
I almost guessed that already. But isn't that hard to do?
No shit. You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm just used to it by now.
I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she is, adept she was using her feet to eat, I figured painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us have anything more to add to the subject.
Afternoon light worked pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. You think it's flat? I mean, as a painting.
Well, paintings tend to be flat.
Not like that flat, flat. Like some people are no substance, no meat, where there should be some, like that Misa bitch.
Okay, I get it, but I couldn't really
What?
tell. I'm not that good with art. I can't name many artists or artistic terms. So I don't really have anything to say. Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, "Do it yourself," without saying it. Looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there.
Thank get any schoolwork done. But if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it gets too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any.
Rin sure is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not sure if I can be
You
of any help
insensitive
though.
fuck. It's just mixing some paints. You can do that. Probably. Do you have motor control problems? Like, those people who have motor control problems? It's okay, I won't judge. More than usual. Cerebral palsy, maybe?
Not that I know of.
Good. I get it. Heart thingy has nothing to do with that.
It gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't.
Let's do it then.
So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into a shallow uh,
Grave.
shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paint flows lazily from the can into the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating fun, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue. Ren sets to work every now and then asking me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision down to the last milliliter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best.
Fucking art majors. Add half a splash of green.
I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green.
No, not that green. Yeah, the green. This green.
I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl.
No, that's almost a whole splash. More white now. Is green a good color to add?
No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of a smile appears in the corner of her mouth.
You're the first person to not be a shithead about that, but also do you lack an opinion? Are you
No,
that boring?
it's just that I have no idea.
It's okay. I just got an idea. Add more white.
With the exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter.
Too much white, more macaroni. Anyone gets that reference, gold stars.
Oh my lord.
That's yeah. No, I'm working on it.
I'm sorry.
Wake up, you jerk.
I'm sorry.
That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know you saw the meaning of life in your dream, but you can't remember it. Maybe I should lay off the shrooms. Maybe it's yellow.
Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like that, the change of seasons, or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would.
It's like art can be fun.
Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints, crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire
In
presence.
your head, I can read your thoughts.
I mean, you tried. You tried earlier to guess what the problem was with me, and
Yeah, I was pretty fucking close.
it was almost spot on. Her
You got
entire go
you got
first.
dick problems.
Her entire presence emanates a completely different air as she patiently works the details and or details, adding layers of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from a few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us say a word for the longest time. And even though short discussions soon evolve into a shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues, as if there was some need to conserve words and breath and sound. It evolved. We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly. Transition after painting. Wow.
Wow.
The sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber and into the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blanket for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuse as for why I already haven't. Honestly, I wouldn't mind
On like
staying here.
painting, dipshit.
I wouldn't
Again,
mind.
please tell me if I go too far.
No, it's all good. Like I said, it's fine. You're fine. I wouldn't mind staying here for all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause. The culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they are going to let me get away that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with the talk of exercise as well. And that knife. So eventually, I do rise up, swallow the morning medication, and put on my old soccer clothes. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym class at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. Ordered some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. Can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way. A bit like me. Seems a bit stupid to me, really. But I suppose this way, at least, I could tell the nurse honestly that I'm doing something about my health. Not that I was ever much of a runner to begin with. Can't hurt to try, I guess. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic leg girl who blowed me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lethally like a half mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember.
Strange.
She
Genuinely don't remember.
She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy loop, her prosthetic legs clanking rhythmically on the hard track surface. Wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's some akin to mine. And the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog, just like he is oppressing me. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health, and his prompting me to do so, as well as the knife. And even with this, even with things being like they are, it's only because I want to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempt to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems that my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over.
Good morning. Your name is Hizao, right?
She grins, seemingly pleased that she remembered my name.
You may not remember me. Emmy? That's what it was. I knocked you over in the hall yesterday. I almost killed you.
How could I forget such blunt introduction. Emi has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling.
I am sorry. I don't care what the narration says. I am sorry.
Well, so long as you don't make it a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine.
No promises.
I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you?
That's right.
Oh. I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest.
I can't? Are you saying it's because I have no legs? I have legs. I've got legs for days. What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy? That would make me a shitty spy.
No. This is more like a relief. And not because of you not having legs. I was afraid he would have someone to watch my every move. Unless
Oh, he does.
you're here to do that, do exactly that.
Your every move? Yeah, kinda. I'll watch you sleep. It's a lot less interesting than I thought it would be when I signed up for it.
Is that what we're going with? Oh my god.
No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I had seen a messy-haired transfer student made of blue slime who looks like he's kind of lost or on the track.
Host? I don't know such a person. So why are you down here? And he strikes a dramatic pose.
Using the track? Training?
For what?
Track!
Ah, I see. You're on the track.
Do you have brain damage?
I don't know, do I? I mean, nods enthusiastically.
I don't know, do you?
No comment. It's the main protagonist debuff.
Yep. I'm one of the better runners, too. Instead of my cyborg legs.
And modest about it, too.
Hey, you should join up. You should join track.
Where have I heard this before?
I'm pretty sure the student council girls want to, like, dissect you or something. But anyway, this is good exercise.
I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure that I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know? It's true, never really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. Was it for the glory to be found on the field? That's for sure. He seems to understand my meaning.
I see. Not in that whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're running together, huh?
What? Sure, I guess.
You don't actually get a choice.
Emmy seems pleased, and there's no like declining option.
Yeah. Are you gonna warm up? Are you gonna, actually take care of yourself?
Taking care of myself in current year? No way. Real men don't warm up.
No, you should always warm up. Bat is out. You with the newspaper.
She scolds me enthusiastically.
Where did I get this? I don't know. Scolds me. Oh, sorry, that's you.
She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer.
I hate warming up too.
She laughs suddenly.
Heck, I'm gonna have to stretch my leg.
As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down, as well as acknowledges it in the third person, and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic.
I said, let's go.
Cut out. So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Amy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Frankly, I don't remember if there is any particular form of running, but I can't help but feel like I'm doing it wrong somehow. I feel awkward in comparison to Emmy, who never seems to break stride.
Okay.
I don't think I want to do this anymore. Not really feeling up to more than a couple of laps today, and slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running.
You're a bitch.
And doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor.
Finished already?
I hang my head ruefully. Yeah. Not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods, and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling.
The important thing is that you started, right? I don't actually know. I'm not a doctor. I'm here in a liberal arts program.
Oh, my arms pop. Oh.
Oh, that's why I'm not saying it. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Next time, you just have to try and hold out longer, and then longer and longer, and eventually you'll be great.
I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now, I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Amy shrugs unconcernedly.
Got plenty of time. I'm a lot faster than you, if you noticed.
I noticed that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure?
Probably.
Another careless shrug.
You're just not getting the stuff going on at this school, are you? Not really, but I gotta finish my routine. See you later, Hazao.
Yeah. See ya. Apart from feeling more tired than before, I don't think I accomplished anything today. I'm so out of shape. It's embarrassing. The whole
Spent
thing.
3 months in the hospital, you dumb shit.
I mean, fair enough. But you didn't have to run away while saying that. The whole thing might have been a waste of time.
Oh no, that was me from the window. Hi.
Oh. Just Rin makes a sudden cameo again.
Really like Ren, okay? Don't judge.
The feeling that the whole thing might have been a waste of time. I'll find some other way. I head back to the dorm to wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a real long and hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. Oh, oh.
Oh my god.
It's
Here we
time.
go.
It's time. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog.
I need a semen sample.
Oh my god.
Sup? What are you doing here? What the hell? You scared me. What's your problem?
I need a semen sample. I just said that.
I need your semen, man. And also, about those drugs earlier. I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man. What do you mean, all over the place? Why do you need semen? What?
That's it. Why does anyone need semen?
I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that. Stark naked, but hold my tongue back. I finally realize I'm still naked too, and quickly hold my shirt in front of me. But Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. I mean, he is wearing his glasses. His thick spectacles. His glasses are fogged up, but then, why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad it's like he's perpetually seeing through fog? You know, your room, and yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up, though, whatever. It's not important. Can I borrow some money? Puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. It doesn't work. He's as transparent as his window pane sized glasses. Talking naturally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually,
It's to catch you off guard.
Did you not know that I go to the meetings about the feminist conspiracy? Actually, it's somehow even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked. What do you mean it's more awkward? To say nothing of that fact that he's naked as well. I try to brush off the feeling, with little success. Money? Sure. Awesome! Wait, what do you need it for? Drugs?
Can't you just give it to me because I have the good will not to run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercise restraint. And in the end, isn't it the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal.
I'm pretty sure it's not theft that counts, but okay.
This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I shouldn't withhold payment, since his thoughts were so clearly impure, and his intentions are probably even more sinister since he can't tell me what they are. I say it as much to him.
I'm offended, man. But if that's your game, then fine. I guess I have no choice. I need a resupply on my drugs. I.e., I want to order pizza. I already have the
nondescript drugs.
and I already have the most of the cost of the pizza. I need your help for the rest.
I get some of that pizza too, right?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I would give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat pizza.
What about you?
I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy and then eat it. It's not easy. You have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you and the pizza. And then they will ask for a slice.
Actually, the most sense he's made in the entire time I've seen him on screen.
It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. And for some reason you're semen. That's why I want yours. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgivable world.
I don't really know why they want your semen, but you know what? Irrelevant.
It happened before. That's how I know. Every day, I plan my vengeance for how they took my pizza slice and my semen. So that's when the people who wronged me order a pizza, I will be there, ever vigilant.
Kenji strikes his dramatic pose, completely without irony.
But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza. It's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened the last time I went out without carefully planning it in advance. I was outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something.
I was outside, though.
Maybe wondering how I got there. And then, out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning, splitting the sky. Like how you split a sandwich into 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable to hold and eat. A bird crapped on my head. It was the second most shocking moment of my life.
What was the first? He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that, even if it's more likely he's just didn't hear me.
It was like in the opening of some kind of anime show. You know how there is always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival and they fly at each other and clash swords? And there's like big dramatic colored auras and zooms? It was like that, but with poo.
Oh, okay. I don't know how poo would get you to, any connections of what happened?
You really need to learn to stop asking questions.
So yeah, I need some money. Please. Don't leave me hanging, man. I only need like 1,000 yen.
I thought it was 400.
Okay.
Inflation.
What?
I'll pay you back. I swear.
You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff.
I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back.
You have 1 week.
Ah!
Kenji winces and makes noise like a dying cow, and partly disturbing fact given that his baton is conducting freely.
You're not supposed to be so tight-assed about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know the male porn stars only make about half of what female porn stars make?
How does that involve anything to do with, pizza? That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star.
So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. And you can't even spot me a crumb? Your crumbs? You bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody!
Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? This feminist agenda stuff again?
This stuff is important. I could see that you don't give a shit. But this is serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy. Make no mistake of it. You take them lightly, and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. BAM! Out of nowhere.
And it was Misha.
I mean, it's just me.
How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep?
That's because it's me, you idiot. Women are terrible at stabbing things.
Damn, okay.
I don't know, man. Nisha seems to have a good handle on a knife. I thought you just said don't take them lightly.
Well, I don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat, but if there was some kind of war, like a big war, with the men on one side and the feminist forces on the other side, it would be pretty ugly. And that day will come when the feminists come out of their central top secret worldwide feminist headquarters. And it says, it's on now, motherfuckers.
You're being ridiculous. There's no worldwide feminist headquarter building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it would have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with women only on it.
Who said it was on Earth?
I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in the mirror so that I can figure out what kind of frown will best express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyway, which unfortunately means that he just keeps on ranting without any regard or to sense or sensibility.
Yeah.
Men's rights. Have you heard of what's his face? He was a blogger, and then he was a YouTuber. He sells mugs. I listen to him daily.
I listen to him on the radio. The truck radios? That radio.
Yeah. Can't use the regular radios.
Yeah. There's a war going on. A war not many know about. But it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all of the known world. Then we'll have to pick sides. We will have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine the bloody battlefield, a vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought this cause was silly, when I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight, when I mistook the time.
Listening to Joe Rogan.
When I mistook the time, the power went out for a feminist raid, and thought the end was near.
What did I just join on to? Wait, I mean, god damn it, not this again, fucking Mr. Whale.
But then I realized that if I give up, it would all be over. And I was like, whoa. And I knew I had to get serious. Because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. It's about duty.
Must be a pretty crappy movement if it all hinges on one naked man ranting in a bathroom at another naked guy.
Need to listen to more Joe Rogan, then you'll understand.
So I can have the can I have the money?
Blocking the way out. It's getting cold because I'm still naked and I want to go to class, so I agreed to spot him the money. With the homies, man. God damn it.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. We should go bowling later. You know, like that one game where he's like, hey, cousin, let's go bowling. But, with us.
Bowling?
Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are also almost no women bowlers either, making it almost the manliest sport. Should I wear my pink bowling shirt with matching shoes? Or the pastel green with flower accents?
There are bowling clothes?
Maybe. Anyways,
you had better pay me back.
I could pay you back in stuff, right? The graphs and stuff like I showed you last time?
I don't have time to ask him to elaborate on what that means, nor do I want to see those graphs. I don't know. I have to get to class. You're kind of in the way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I didn't want to hold you up. And
I don't want to hold you. I have a crush on you, I think, but not quite like that.
like, bros.
We're 10 feet apart still. They're not 10 feet apart.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's up in his face right now. Just because he was blocking the way.
I have some stuff to do myself. The time has come.
The time for what?
The time!
Is it
The time! I just like saying that. Okay, now the time has really come.
Once again, the most valid thing he has said since the game started.
For what?
I just like saying that.
I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it.
I was just going to. And what does that mean? It's a big bathroom.
So? I have to go. I have to be alone. Or I can't go. The pressure.
Okay.
Is building.
What if someone else comes in?
Then I'll kill them!
He's got the pushies.
I'll think of something. Now get the fuck out.
I give him my practice frown, and it looks kind of silly reflected in his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't see. Anyway, so I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity has passed since I woke up. That is time I will never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. But right now, I have to go to class. I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today. Although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. Combination
I heard that!
I heard that, you bitch. My seeing might be flawed, but my hearing is on point.
The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. I black out for a second, waking up when my hands hit the surface of my desk. Rubbing my forehead, I realize this is as good as a reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so later. Start coming to class later. Eventually, I hear a tapping noise outside in the hallway. And Lily's tall
Your
figure.
pamphlet!
Your pamphlet? And Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitantly, as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. Considered doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar as if it was of importance to look prime when entering our classroom.
Excuse me.
Calls into the quiet classroom with a probing, delicate voice. I realize the silence might unnerve her because of her blindness, so I break it. Good morning, Lily.
It's Al. Good morning. I didn't hear you come in.
Because I was here first.
I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely if I were to tell her too big of a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just asleep until now.
Oh, have you seen Hanako today by any chance?
No, she seems to come in only just before the bell rings, or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you?
No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here.
I should have gotten up so early today, I guess.
You're
Vampire
chastising
hearing.
yourself. Oh, you're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should. Punctuality is a good thing. I think so, anyway. It's a very busy morning today. The festival's coming up soon, and today is the deadline for the event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that is why it's so quiet today.
Misha pops into the room, with Shizune as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch.
Hi, He-chan.
Hi.
Look, it's the class representative. Hello.
Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha or Shizune's use of the word look.
Good morning.
Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right? Right.
I'm not.
Lily seems a little more guarded in her answer to Shizune than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realized that Lily might actually not know Shizune is present, and she's trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she's talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Shizune are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizune being the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decided to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. You're here early, Shizune.
You were here even earlier than us. You trying to upstage us?
Misha puffs out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizune's behalf too? It's not that weird, though, that Shizune didn't like my little comment. It's true, I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizune, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Shizune already moved on.
Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk. Festival's coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for their events, even the first years, except you. I'm sorry, that might have my mistake. Let me just nope, no suppression is off, so you heard that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think Ash can attest to it.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. There's still some time to hand it in, isn't there?
Today! The deadline is today. You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I've had all the necessary paperwork days ago, but someone had to say, the deadline, please extend it, because I can't read or something.
Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task, and a week is too small of a time frame to expect a whole class to work out such a complex issue completely.
You know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school, and then some. The one who does that is me.
Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she really is getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused, though. Hey, Shizune, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left.
Please, Hisao, it's all right.
Lily seems happy I'm taking her side, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself.
If this is about the budget, then I am disappointed you think I have forgotten about it. I understand how important it is.
Then, can I have it, please?
Shizune, she might not have it on her at this exact second.
It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me, students from my class.
She emphasizes the last sentence. Much to my surprise, she knows about Shizune and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess I guess words must have gotten around. So now she's using me as ammo against Shizune. This just gets better and better.
It was your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away as class rep. It's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible.
They completed it, being capable of doing so, but the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick.
Okay.
Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Suzune's doesn't, and seems torn, being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge.
Don't they live here at the school? That's a 5-minute walk, you know? What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class?
Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts sighing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal.
And what's with that attitude? I said that's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative or aren't you? Some of the names of those two students, they should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself.
One form is the full extent of what I am supposed to take care of.
Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she is doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers carefully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is.
Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you.
Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without even a hint of sarcasm, which were meant to have.
They didn't tell me that beforehand. The stage directions are terrible.
Shizune and Lily don't like each other. That much is clear. But this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back.
Time to duel!
I was actually just discussing the budget reports before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own.
Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself.
Think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you.
Right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell.
And it's not hard to guess which one you might represent.
The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation.
He can. Don't you slack off either. Plywood.
What are you talking about?
Plywood. Aren't you taking part in the festival, He-chan? Aren't you? Then I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person.
I don't understand why Shizune is suddenly getting mad at me. And come on, cut me and Lily some slack.
You're like, what, second day here?
Hey, I'm the new guy, remember? It's not like I could have done much, even if I wanted.
Which I didn't, by the way. I didn't volunteer for this.
That's right. You shouldn't expect a transfer student to jump right into it on his first week.
Lily taking my side feels oddly comforting, so I decide to back her up too. Yeah, you're being unreasonable with both of us.
Excuses. Miss Class Rep has had plenty of time to deal with her report. And we repeatedly offered you a position to help with the student council work, but you refused to commit yourself to making the festival a success, because apparently those two things were the same thing.
Yeah, but as I said back then, I'm not sure if. I don't have time for this right now. No matter what I do, it will mean being drawn into a confrontation with Shizune, and that is what she wants. Whatever. Forget it. I turned my back at them. Lily, class is going to be starting soon, so we could talk more later. I'll tell Hanako you were looking for her. I can feel Shizune freezing. Maybe this is the first time she has ever been ignored in such a blunt manner.
Thank you, Hisao. I'll leave now then.
She gives me the sweetest smile I've seen all week and turns on her heels to make her exit. As soon as Lily walks out the door, I
When
suddenly
can I
start.
die?
This is how I die. I suddenly start feeling reluctant about turning to face Shizune. I can feel her eyes burning into my back and can't bring myself to look at her. She must be furious. I keep expecting Misha to say something to elevate the tension, but it
Alleviate.
alleviate my bad.
You're good?
But it really is wanting too much. In the end, I go back to my seat and listen to the sounds of Shizune's footsteps as she marches out of the room. She doesn't return until a few minutes before class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the page in my textbook lazily. I have a bit of catching up to do, despite trying to keep up with my studies at the hospital, but I'm not feeling that enthusiastic about it. The clock in the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book. The rhythmic clashing of chalk on the blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass the time, even though they are right there in the textbook. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry because I have nothing to do, so I stay for a while, reviewing what we covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have to deal with crowding in the hallways. I notice Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune sighing so fast that her hand makes noise like swords cutting through the air. Maybe there is pent-up anger in there. Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Shizune signs to point where her wrist crackles, and Misha struggles to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and then on top of that, she has to sign back anything the other girl says. Seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired. like she's about to faint. Lucky for her, the business is soon finished, and the girl sits down on their seats again.
I'm so tired.
She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. I'll use the opportunity to reconcile with Shizune a bit, without getting roped into the student council thing again. Though I suspect the door is now closed for me. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after class, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. Probably the other one who doesn't have something to do. Or I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune scoffs at me first, as if trying to decide whether to ignore or sneer at me. But in the end, she starts signing without doing either. Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha. She must have practiced it vigorously.
Oh, well, of course. We're in student council. You know, we're pretty busy. It's an important duty of ours to ensure the success of the festival with all of our strength. We would shame ourselves in front of past student council generations if the festival were to fail. Never mind the fact that this is a school for disabled children. Sorry, did that come out loud?
Huh?
That's why there must be no flaws. I think that was encumbrances. No, nothing that might make the festival short of perfect.
Shizune's passionate speech and Misha's inaction are really oddly fitting of them.
Oh, hello.
I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom, most of her body hidden behind the door.
Hey, Lincoln again.
Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped nervously around the edge of the door. Maybe she's showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. What is it, Hanako?
Has Lily been here?
You tell. Sorry, I was a little confused. Sorry, haven't seen Sato. She came by in the morning, though.
Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who's staring back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she is intimidating enough as it is. So I can only imagine how terrified Hanako would be. It is a little uncomfortable watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet.
Do you know where she is?
If she has any sense about in her head, she's in her classroom working on their festival project. But who knows where that woman is loitering?
You need to find her? She was looking for you in the morning, but I guess you have missed each other. She waits a little without answering the simple question, looking awfully like she's not sure if it's proper to answer such a question.
Yeah.
I could come with you, if it's okay. Hanako nods frantically, still on guard, her shoulders stiff like wood. I get the feeling that she might be more comfortable by herself after all, but it's too late to back off now. She has this really troubled expression she seems to wear almost constantly, one that makes me constantly be on guard myself. I wonder why. I kind of understand why she always seems to be so weary, or maybe more like why there could be a person like her. But I still have no idea how I should act around such a person. It's dinner time soon. Were you planning to eat with Lily? She nods slightly. So she must have been trying to get in the cafeteria. Well, there's something of a dinner crowd, just like the cafeteria is crowded during lunch. It's not as bad because dinner time is longer than an hour, or longer than lunch hour. But I can't understand why Hanako could be discouraged from going in. I pick up my bag and we take our leave. Hanako skips a little to meet my initial pace, so I slow down to match her speed. It doesn't take long for us to be walking at a comfortable pace down the hallway. It almost feels like we're going for a stroll together, something that I can't say I've really done before with a girl. Hanako doesn't seem to be thinking the same thing though. Even though we are walking at the same pace, she never comes within arm's reach of me. I guess she's still a little uncomfortable around me, given how shy she is. There doesn't seem to be much helping it, at least for now. By the time we arrive at the cafeteria, there's not much of a crowd there, but Lily is nowhere to be seen. Hanako's head sinks even lower than usual. Have you looked somewhere else already?
Just at the library. I was reading.
So she does spend the classes she skips at the library. Ah, so you're not exactly a thorough search then. Well, if I had to guess, she'd be in her own class, like Shizune said, right?
I.
With the slightest of nods, Nako agrees with my reason. God, being so awkward. It's like I need double layered silk gloves with padding to even begin interacting with her. Some small talk might help her become a bit more used to me. It isn't hard to tell that the silence between us is hovering on the edge of both of our minds. So you and Lily usually hang out together after class, right?
Yes.
Not quite sure what I expected from her answer, nor why I even asked the question. That much was
Do it.
rather obvious after all. She doesn't seem like the type to cultivate a social circle either, so I suspect that Lily may well be her only friend. Must be a pain being in different classes, I guess. Guessing. Ah. She gives a sharp, almost reflexive nod compared to Lily's careful thoughts about her actions and speech. Hanako hastens to make her answers as prompt and short as possible.
Lily comes by the classroom, though, even when she's busy.
She gives a small smile as she says it, evidently appreciating the fact that Lily goes out of her way to help her. Pretty cute, really. There isn't any need to say more. Both of us content that the discussions reached its end. As we ascend the stairs back to the lobby, we are met by a group of students heading downstairs like a school of fish moving from one feeding area to another. They seem to be keeping mostly to themselves. But before I can notice her doing so, Hanako has moved around behind me. Hey, are you alright?
Just keep going.
The students pass us without as much of a second glance, and Hanako takes up position to my side again as we enter the building. Momentary reprieve from her anxiety all but snatched away. Even as we climb towards the third floor, it doesn't seem to relax. It isn't as if I've never known a shy person before, or even shy girls, but Hanako seems to be pretty far beyond what I call normal in her fear of other people. If it weren't for Lily acting as a mediator, I doubt Hanako would have even been able to walk beside me like this. She seems to completely shut down in the presence of others. The rest of the walk to Lily's classroom continues in strained silence, while I rue her inability to socialize at all. After we make our way up the stairs, the noise coming from Lily's classroom is audible from halfway down the hallway. I wasn't expecting such a din at all. Well, I guess we found her. This wasn't hard. Did Hanako come here first, then come to me for backup, I wonder? Well, if that's true, then at least she's starting to trust me a little. That can only be a good thing. Eventually, the two of us reached the door to class 3-2, with Hanako less than subtly positioning herself behind me. I open the door. Inside is a hive of activity. Seemingly every student in the class talking at once as they work hurriedly on their separate tasks. Going by the paint cans, decorations, and banners being made, it must be for the upcoming school festival. I guess my first priority should be finding Lily. There. Finding among the din is surprisingly easy, not the least because of her looks. A couple of students gathered around her as she stands at the front of the classroom. She seems to be in charge of the preparation, or at least busy organizing them. Carefully navigating a path through the various students hunched over the floor for lack of desk space, I raise a hand entirely out of habit as we finally reach Lily. Hi, Lily. Perks her head up as she breaks off talking to a noticeably smaller girl who must be her classmate, trying to listen as best as she can.
Sorry, who?
Ah, sorry. Sal. I have Hanako too.
Hi.
She's pretty skittish. Considering the number of people around, it isn't too hard to work out why. Lily takes a moment to pause to assess the situation before turning to the other students once again.
For the moment, just ask Moira for advice. Kenji's busy with painting one of the banners already.
A quick nod and she bounces off, fingers carefully sliding along the wall's face for or orientation. Wait, Kenji? That Kenji? I quickly turn about, leaning to the side to see past Hanako. Sure enough, in the corner of the room, Kenji's hunched over a sheet of cloth as he paints it. His eyes remain only inches from the brush, reminding me of how close he had to be to make out my face when I met him.
Sorry about that. Our class doesn't have many students with even partial sight, so they're in a high demand.
That's right. Class 3-2 was especially for students with poor vision. Preparing for the festival must be pretty arduous. Am I saying that right?
Arduous.
Arduous.
Arduous. Thank you.
You were close.
Yeah.
Need a hand? I could give you help if you need some. Maybe Hanako could too? A chance to set her mind on something would do her good, but I doubt she has the courage to ask outright. She quickly nods in affirmation afterwards, so I'm confident I made the right move. Lily gives a notable sigh of relief.
Ah, that's good. This might actually get finished before everyone goes off to dinner now. Would you be able to help the person painting the main banner? It's a big task for him to do, but nobody else can help.
Kenji? Sure.
Keeps trying to sell them drugs.
He's on the down low. She seems surprised that I know him. Can't really blame her.
I take it you've met.
Our rooms in the dorm are right next to each other. Hard to miss each other, really.
Well, it's good to see you're getting friends so fast.
Friend. I wonder if that's the right word to use for her. Nako's silence during the proceeding reminds me of the reason I put her up to helping in the first place. We'll go help them. I'll help him then. He knows what needs doing, right?
That's right. Just ask if you have any problems.
Chorusing in assent, Nako and I begin another trek across the classroom. Kenji sits crouched on the floor, his gaze fixed on the white calico? Am I saying that right?
Calico?
Calico? In front of him. Hey Kenji. No answer. Continues dragging his paint-soaked brush along the large half-painted kanji that sketched on the sheet in pencil. Kenji?
Huh? What? Who is it?
If this is the way he treats class members, it's no small wonder he's working on this alone. It's me, his...
Right. I know that, man. What are you doing here, though?
His dismissive attitude annoys me. He must be the type to really get focused on his work, hating to be disrupted by anyone until he's done, I suppose. While we talk, the sound of Hanako's footsteps as she walks out from behind me reminds me that she's here. I was just going to help with the banner. Hanako and I, that is.
Hello.
Oh, hey. I guess that's okay.
As soon as Hanako enters the equation, his demeanor takes a complete
about face, his sudden fox hospitality is slightly unsettling. Oh, right, women. On second thought, it may not have been a great idea after all. Nako and I grudgingly set ourselves down on the opposite side of the cloth banner, Kenji, noting the several small paint tins on the ground around it. Class 3-2. Noodle stall? Guys selling noodles at a festival on Sunday? Yeah, some stalls outside, or something. His non-committal nature sparks a fair amount of suspicion on my behalf. The task at hand comes first, though. So, how do you want to split this? You can do borders while you do the text, or do you want to switch and do the borders? Text is mine. You do borders. He has surprisingly strong feelings on the topic. As I reach out to grab a brush, I notice Hanako already debating between colors to use. By the time I put brush to the cloth, she's already started on a delicate pattern. Looks like my idea of taking her mind off everyone around her worked. With a dark blue stroke, three of us silently get to work. Not before Kenji takes advantage of Hanako's work to lean towards me and whisper conspiratorially, "Bo." Okay, man. Why are you here? Hanako just wanted some help to find Lily. That's all. He apparently disapproves of my motivation. I get it. It looks like I misjudged you. You're infiltrating them, aren't you? Going deep undercover. I should have guessed. Letting the truth slip by him would probably be better than outright lying or annoying in any case. Is that why you're here? Obviously. It sucks. But there's no better way to get intel than going in yourself. We gotta stick together, man. This is a harsh school. A harsh world. Yes. Very harsh. He misses my true meaning as he leans back, satisfied as I'm sympathetic to his cause. I better get down to work.
Finished.
Looks like I am too. Good job. Two of us connect up the lines of our pattern, mine being as close as a copy as I could manage of hers. With a grunt, I lever myself up from the floor and look around. Aside from Hanako and myself, there's only Kenji left finishing off the sign, as well as Lily and a couple of students talking amongst themselves in the classroom. Looking at my watch, it's no surprise. It's getting pretty late. Need a hand? I offer my hand to Hanako, which she uses to get herself up. As she does, I can't help but glance at her wrist. Her scars extend even to there. How much of her body was burned? I feel a pinch of guilt about it. However, as she quickly covers her wrist with her other hand. Looks good, doesn't it? She looks surprised for a moment, before noticing that I mean the banner.
I guess.
Her smile shows that she feels a slight sense of pride in the result, just as I do. The floor is significantly neat for the decoration being placed on desks and shelves. It's much easier to get to Lily as we cross the room.
we finished the banner. I guess that's all that needed to be done. Lily gives an appreciative nod.
Thank you, Hisao, Hanako. If there's any way I can thank you.
It's fine. Beat sitting in my room studying, at any rate.
I don't mind either.
He nods, before suddenly remembering one last person.
Oh, is Kenji still here?
Just as I open my mouth, Kenji gives the answer from the other side of the room.
Yeah, just finished.
He carefully slides his sign onto the empty section of the shelf to dry, before quickly walking past us and out the door.
See ya, man.
Bye. The remaining two students say their goodbyes to Lily before taking their cue to leave as well, leaving only the three of us. Well, I guess that's everyone.
I hope we don't have to do anything like that again.
Working past school time?
Indeed, the classes planned this year were ambitious, maybe too ambitious. The stall looks nice, though.
She's right. It shows that a lot of work gone into them.
My, I'm sure a lot of us would be glad to hear that. At least now there's not much work to do until the festival itself. It's getting pretty late. Should we go? That's probably a good idea. Are you going back to the dorms as well, Hisao?
Yeah, I guess I'll tag along. The nighttime lighting really makes the garden look quite different compared to the usual look of lush greenery. Things are much more calm. Being that it's so late, the lack of students around probably helps. The odd one or two can be seen scurrying to and from the dorms, trying to eke the most out of their approaching curfew. But no more. All that can be heard is our footsteps, in addition to Lily's cane regularly gently tapping the ground in front of her. It's nice to finally be able to relax a bit after the mad rush during school. Without even noticing it, I let out a small yawn.
Tired?
Yeah, still getting used to the flow of things, I guess. The, thing with Shizune took me kind of off guard, though. I grit my teeth a little at the candid mention of their rather public spat. That said, I do want to sort out what in the world was behind it.
About that. I'm sorry about it being so public. Shizune and I go some ways back.
Her voice seems slightly irritated as she remembers Shizune, obviously unwilling to discuss it any further. I glance to Hanako for her views on this, but her expression is unsurprisingly evasive and difficult to read. Either way, I guess her apologizing for it is something, even if my curiosity goes unanswered.
I'll be glad once the festival is over in any case.
The change of topics welcome, clearing the thickening air quickly. I can imagine. My old school's festivals were a lot more low-key than this.
Yomoku stresses the idea of school community, so the staff likes to make our festivals and such special occasions.
And yet, students are the ones who do the work. What an unfair world. Hanako and Lily both chuckle in agreement, favoring the fact that none of the staff are around here are grumbling.
I suppose coming from a strict all-girls school helped me a bit with Yamaku. Compared to there, Yamaku is much more relaxed.
That go a way towards explaining her well-bred speech and behavior. In any case, as we come to the dormitories, it eventually comes time to leave for our respective rooms. See you, Lily. Hanako. Two girls give a polite nod before setting off to the women's dorms, just next to the guys. As it is to be expected of such an arrangement, there's a staff member casually patrolling around outside to prevent any nighttime shenanigans. Walking past him, I quickly stretch my arms and rub my neck, both quite sore after having worked on the floor for so long, before walking to my room. It feels good to actually have directions, though, after so long in the hospital, the everyday fact of studying, working, homework, and teachers seems almost a blessing. I guess if things continue like this, first time at Yamaku might turn out okay. I feel so I'm feeling tired, so I set my alarm clock to wake me up as late as I can afford, while still making it to the first class. The nurse's voice is almost nagging in the back of my head about morning jogs and the knife. I make a resolution to make up for it by going for a walk after school tomorrow. Amy won't care either way, I bet.
Please call it. I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, I kind of guessed it. But as with every time when we call it, I'll just read the last thing, which was, I woke up and take a hot shower. And we will save it right there. And put
Actually
out.
got to stay at the end this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll switch us to just chatting. Oh my lord. Let us see. Who is there to raid? I got a lot of people on my list. Jesus Christ, how many people are streaming at this time?
A lot.
I don't know. I woke up as the stream was starting.
I mean, hey, but you at least made it and stuck with it.
Yeah.
I said I would.
Mm-hmm.
People always seem so surprised when I actually stick to my commitments.
But if anything, I got someone who we can raid,
Okay.
and it's someone that you haven't met yet, Ash,
Oh.
and Coral. I'm sorry, sorry to only include one person.
You don't want to include Ash? Well, that's kind of rude.
No, Coral, no, Coral, no.
Me giving you crap is our dynamic, and you know it.
I know. But I'm gonna put in for our raid message slime, oni, and fish raid. Oh god, I misspelled raid. Oh lord. And you could use whatever emotes you guys prefer. I use these emotes to show my appreciation to the people we raid, either brand new or, you know, people I know. And we're gonna be raiding Bui, who is a friend of Dell's, which I don't know what the sudden change of like from their model to like a PNG, but you know, fuck it, we ball, right?
Yeah.
Fuck it, we ball. That's my motto for far too many things.
But what what do you two have planned for future streams? Just to let the audience know.
I was planning on.
I...
Oh, you guys.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Your birthday was
Okay.
most recent.
I'm streaming tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I'm gonna do a variety of things.
Mm-hmm. And you?
I was gonna stream earlier and then I fell asleep.
Do you have any other days of plan for stream?
Right now a lot of my life is in flux for this week. I plan on trying to get a bit more consistent next week.
I feel you on that one. But yeah, tomorrow is I don't know is gonna be iffy. But yeah, but for those who stuck around with this us silly group here, this slime and everyone else here hopes you have a wonderful rest of your morning, evening, afternoon time zones, wherever you guys are at, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we shall see you whenever we see you. Take care, everyone.
And I will see you all on the flipper side. I still say that. But I can't just leave on that.